welcome to another episode of Dexter's Diary. What's up? I hope you guys are making it through the summer as well as possible. This summer has been a beast, yo. A beast. I wasn't even ready for it. It's been a beast. I wasn't ready. I was not. I was still tying my shoelaces and this joint took off. I'm like, I'm not. I was born in the summer, but I'm a winter baby in my heart. In my soul, I belong somewhere in fall, somewhere cold and crisp. I dead ass wanted to move to Colorado because I knew I couldn't take this. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. I still might move to Colorado. Anyway, so today I want to talk about, before I talk about this, I want to give a disclaimer, right? There are going to be topics that I revisit from time to time due to the fact that things will pop up and I feel like they are important, because I totally understand that there are things that I share with you that you may not be able to relate to, and there are things that I share with you that you may be able to relate to. So take what you can, and whatever works for you and whatever doesn't, discard it. It's totally cool. I get that. I also believe that, when you know better, you do better. And a lot of times we deal with situations from that standpoint of what we know at that time. And certain things will keep coming up because you may not have dealt with it as effectively as you could have at that time, because you were only dealing with what you knew at that time. As you live life, and learn new things, certain lessons will continue to come up until you are able to deal with it effectively. So that way that course is done and you can check that off. So there are times when I will be revisiting certain things because different stories will come up because I'm talking about things in my life. Excuse me. And not only personally, but other things that I've seen that I want to address. So that's my disclaimer. Make believe is at the bottom of the screen. Okay, that's my disclaimer. Anyway, so accountability. Ta-da! No, I do want to talk about accountability because, so you remember I told you about my breakup and how I wasn't, he had hit me up and I wasn't moved, blah, blah, blah. Well, initially I wasn't, and then he kept calling me and was like, we need to talk. So we set a time, we set a place, and I was like, screw it, well, let's talk. And so I get there and he's late, which I was really pissed off because I'm like, now you playing with my time and you playing in my face, I'm about to leave. So he gets there and we're talking and he's telling me all about everything that's happening in his life, because he's making business ventures and things are really working out for him, which is amazing. I'm like, that's great. I'm really proud of you for pushing through with your dreams and so on and so forth and blah, 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 and growth. But this is not what I came down here to talk about. So what's up? So he goes on to tell me I'm sorry because I know that you needed me at a certain time and I flaked on you and that's messed up, and if I was you, if I was in your situation, I wouldn't want someone to do that to me. So I'm just sitting there okay, Like, you're saying all this for what? And I understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, kind of like, why the fuck am I here? Like, why did I even come out here for this conversation? Like, this was a dub from jump, and I played myself. But, and in my mind, I rehearsed, like, what I was going to say and how I was going to say it. And up until actually seeing him, I'm not even going to lie to you, I had, like, butterflies in my stomach. And I was like, oh, like, I don't know what to expect. I don't know. But this is not the first time that we've had a conversation of similar, you know, wording. And it's like, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And every time I'm thinking, like, this time you're actually going to say something that's going to knock it out the ballpark. Like, that's going to be it. But no, you are coming with the same old flim flam. And I'm like, what? No. I should be ashamed of myself because I feel like I should know better and I should have done better. And I should have not shown up for this conversation because the reality is you are who you are. You've been who you are for a long time now. And it wasn't like this in the beginning and It's just, I guess once he got comfortable, things shifted and it was just like, all right, I'm gonna do me, you do you, whatever. And it's just like, I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't this. And so and every time I tried to steer the conversation to, well, what are we doing? Like, why am I here? Like, he would find a way to shift it back to his accomplishments and how he's working. And I'm like, you don't even care, do you? Like, it really, like, I'm far from stupid, nowhere near dumb. But there are certain times when the light comes on and it shines so brightly, you cannot ignore its brilliance. And it just really clicked for me, like, you're never going to change. You are going to be who you are because you think that your value is higher than everyone else around you. You don't care about this. This was an ego trip to get me down here, and now you feel like, oh, once she sees how great I'm doing, this should be like, it was a fraudulent ass apology. It didn't have any basis. It was really even, there was really, and I'm like, and so I left there feeling like, okay. I left there and then I went to work because I had to go to work, and something, even in all that, he texted me something, it was something intimate. And I went to respond and I was like, no, we're not gonna do this. And I deleted the text, and I'm just like, I'm not falling back into this place because, like, you don't have my best interest at heart. It's only about you. And at some point, yes, I believe in being vulnerable for the people that you love. Yes, I believe in love and all this beauty. I believe in all of that. I also will not continue to play the fool. And I can be mad at you all I want. I can be upset at you all I want, but this is not my first rodeo. And I have to take accountability for what I allowed you to do within the parameters of this relationship. Regardless of what you did, I played a part in it. I played a huge part in it because none of this would have happened without me. I played a huge part in it. And I continued to play that part even when you weren't being 100%. And it's really, really easy to throw the other person under the bus when you're not happy and when you're not feeling loved and when you're not receiving the love that you want. But we have to be accountable. The other person's gonna be a crap ass person. That's probably who they've always been. You know, people can wear masks and they can wear masks really well for a long time, but eventually it gets hot under there and they have to take it off. You know, look, all this, the eyeshadow, all this. Eventually, I have to wash it off. And I'm just gonna be me, plain old Dex. I'm still be fabulous though. But still, like, it's the same thing. Eventually, they can only play a role that isn't really them, but for so long. And after a while, things start getting shaky, and they resort to who they really fucking are. And I really had to talk myself off the ledge because I was so angry and I was so mad. And I really wanted to write a whole thesis, a whole book report on how crappy he was as a person and this, that, and how he made me feel. And I really was like, nah, we're not going to do it. You don't deserve these words. You don't. It's going to fall on deaf ears. You're going to give me some other bullshit after party that's going to mean nothing. And for what? Because the reality is, I allowed this to happen. I allowed this to happen. I have to be accountable. I cannot continue this course of action. Like, no. So, for real, I deleted, blocked everything. Business phone, work phone, all that. Like, everything I can figure out, dismantled. And it was just like, it wasn't a knee-jerk reaction, but it was something that I really was like, I need to do this. Because I thought by lessening the interaction, I could really be like, I can really be okay with you being around without having to like deal with you on a day-to-day basis. Apparently not, because you having access to me in any way just lets you feel like it's okay to play these games, to bullshit me. And that's not, like, no, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. So I really had to take accountability, and I really had to like be like, yo, you played yourself. And I say this often, and it's something that I still grapple with, but closure is bullshit. There is no such thing as closure, because no one's gonna give you the apology that you feel you deserve. Not even close to what, like, because most people don't want to be accountable, myself included. Most people don't want to be accountable, and to say I'm sorry, and to say I did some messed up stuff, and to say I hurt you, and to do all this stuff is one of the most challenging things in the world. Family, friends, otherwise. Like, it's really something that I grapple with. And saying, it's even more challenging to say I messed up to myself. Like, I'm so sorry that I allowed you to get hurt like this. Like, I really had to sit here and have this conversation with myself, because it was just like, I don't deserve this. I've been nothing but a great person to you, and I don't deserve this. But also turn that around and be like, sis, you let this go on for too long, and he doesn't deserve to have any access to you in any shape, form. He doesn't even know my address. He doesn't even know where I live. My new address doesn't know anything. Nothing. And there's a reason for that. So this was just like the biggest straw that broke the camel's back. It was like, all right, now we're done. And now we live so far apart, you will never run into me. This is not even anywhere near anywhere near. And it's just like, I really had to take accountability for that. I really had to, like, this past week has been taking account, and it's not only me taking accountability. I've actually had people, my homegirl called me and was like, look, I've been grappling with some things, and I felt like, I've been going through this by myself and this, that, and third, and blah, blah, blah. But I also understand too, like, I could have been a better friend to you. And it's not the friend I had spoken about previously or whatever, but like we've known each other for quite some years. We damn near grew up together, but like she's been going through some emotional things for a long time, and as her friend, there are times where I step in. I'm like, hey, da da da, and there are times when I let her go through her things by herself. But and because she often goes through these episodes and these periods, I don't divulge a lot of things that I'm going through because I feel like you got enough on your plate, so I don't want to add more to that. But she really called me like, yo, I know I could have been a better friend, because I know I'm not the only one going through things, and even though you don't tell me things, I know that you probably feel that way because you don't want to burden me. And she's like, it's something I really had to think about. Like, out of everyone in my life, you've been the most consistent and you've been the longest, and yet I've neglected you in so many ways. And I'm like, I didn't see it as that. I was looking at it from a different standpoint, kind of like really trying to let her off the hook, because I really didn't see it like that. And she was like, no, this is something I feel like I have to do and I have to tell you. And I was like, all right, like, I appreciate it. And going forward, like, we can change that. I don't have a problem with that. So, it's just been a week of accountability. But know that when other people treat you in a certain way for an extended period of time, I'm not talking about you just met somebody and they treat you like crap. I mean, like, relationships, friendships, partnerships. You are playing a part in that. And a lot of times we make excuses for our partners, especially if they are, whether they're entrepreneurs or they work really hard, or they make more money than we do, or even if they make less money than we do. We find ways to enable people in the way that they treat us. And we can get mad, we can be upset, but ultimately no one is responsible for your happiness. You first have to be happy here, and anything else is an addition. But if you're not adding to it and you're really taking away from it, and I'm allowing you to do that, I cannot then place full 100% blame on you. I have to take accountability, and the fact that I enabled you to be a bullshit ass person in my life and to me, and for however long the length was, that you even got time to bleed in my life like that, with my feelings like that. The nerve, the unmitigated gall. So that episode is done. I don't think I'll be dating for a while. I'm just gonna chill. You know how women do. I'm just gonna focus on myself for now, cause no, I've been focusing on myself. I'm just gonna focus a bit harder, and only bigger and better things. And I will be more observant and more not with the games, not with the bullshit. ASAP Rocky. We ain't taking no choices here. I'm done. Like, no. So, that's my story about accountability. And I hope that it helped you in some way. If you have somebody in your life that is playing in your face with your emotions, cut them loose. We ain't got time for this shit. Like, and hold them accountable for what they did, but they can have about 40%. You got to keep that 60. You got to take that L because you let them do it. Okay? And many of you may not agree with me, but that's just because you're bitter. Don't be a bitter Betty. Okay? Kick that person to the curb and go on about your life and glow the hell up. Okay? I say that with love. What? Bye.